Alright, this is my first card trick tutorial on the 52 know-it-alls. Please subscribe. If you haven't seen the card trick, this is going to be the tutorial for my card trick video, Coincidental Pick. Yeah, it's also known as blind luck. It requires a spectator. It's the one where he takes the deck behind his hands. And there's no actual gimmick. These are normal playing cards. Hoyle decks. Alright, if you haven't seen the original video, I'll see if I can figure out on this new YouTube thing to make a link up here, right here, so you can watch the original before you see the tutorial. That just makes sense, doesn't it? Alright, so first, before the setup of the trick, is that you have to set up the cards in a special little way. So we're going to take the red joker out. There's only one joker in these decks. You only need one for each. And there's a blue joker. You take the blue joker out. And then you need two identical cards. So here's the red 7 of hearts, and here's the blue 7 of hearts. Okay? Now, the setup of the trick, this is how it works. Okay? This is the red deck, and what you need to do, the red deck, you put the red joker on the bottom. The red deck has the red joker on the bottom, and the blue deck has the blue joker on the bottom. Okay? Now what you have to do is it goes joker, 2 random cards, it really doesn't matter, any 2 cards, and then the opposite color, so it's the red deck of the 7 of hearts in this case, the identical card, right here, except you put it in upside down. Alright, so it's a weird complicated setup, but that's how it works. It goes the upside down identical card, 2 random cards, then the joker, right, the normal side. So with this blue deck, you'd put after the joker 2 random cards, the upside down red 7 of hearts, right there. Close it up, flip it over. You say, spectator, pick a deck. They say, it doesn't matter, this one. You say, okay, this one. First thing I'm going to do is cut the deck. Now, what that just did is it brought your rig. It brought your rig to the middle of the deck somewhere random. Okay? Now, the little trick here to undo the cut in my video is you say, oh, I gotta take out the jokers. So you piece through the deck carefully towards the middle with your thumb until you get to the joker. There's the joker, you can see it. Now what you're gonna do, the reason why you had to be careful is because if you went 3 cards over, there's your 2 random cards. Bam, there's your hidden upside down card. You can't show them that. That's why you have these 2 safety cards. So when you get to the joker, you say, oh, I gotta take the joker out. You reverse cut it, so you basically undo everything you just did, and they don't even notice. All because you say, oh, I just had to take the joker out. Because we don't need the jokers. Alright? Then you give it to the person, and they bring the deck behind their back, and I'm going to show you exactly what the person would do. So he brings the deck behind his back. Ooh, now the deck's behind his back in his hands, and he can't see what he's doing. You tell him, alright, find a card somewhere randomly in the middle. So they do. They pull out a random card in the middle. Obviously, if they go too low, that's why you say the middle, because they're not that dumb. The card doesn't matter, because this isn't actually going to be the card that they see. Queen of Spades. You instruct them behind the back to put it on top of the deck, upside down. Alright, but they can't see it. Okay. Now you tell them to cut it into the middle of the deck. Okay. Now what this does is, remember, our rig is still on the bottom. The joker's out, but our rig is still right there. So that's bringing the rig up on top of the Queen of Spades. You tell them to cut the deck back. Okay. Then when they bring it back to spread the cards, guess what? You do the same thing. You carefully thumb over, and bam, there's the 7 of hearts and the 2 random cards. Once again, you have to be careful and not flash them the Queen of Spades. Now, some magicians like to use some sleight of hand to get this Queen of Spades out of flipped back, but it really doesn't matter. You can just hide it and do this like I do. Okay? And then, with this one, obviously, the setup still has that 7 of hearts that was still upside down, so you can just cut it, and they're both opposite colors. So there you go. That's the tutorial. Very simple, but extremely effective trick if you've got good good acting, good shtick. Yeah, please subscribe. We are the 52 Know-It-Alls.